Do you remember this? But yeah, they will use children. They will use anybody. They might not like your shoes. They probably don't like mine. Okay? To get you out of there because you're a problem. Because you talk. You say no. A narcissist don't like you to say no. And that's part of the agenda too. I know it seemed like I just got off a track from narcissist to principal, but what you think they made of it? They like flesh and they eat it. Oh, because you see them in front of you, you think they're not eating flesh? They're part of the game if they taking this. They taking something and they doing something strange for some change. They will not win because the Father I serve got my back, my front, my head, the crown of my head, down to my feet. Again, shout out to Truth Be Told. So that their child is comfortable. I said, well, frankly, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable being in that room with a little girl that lied on me that could take my livelihood. I'm uncomfortable with being in a room knowing that anybody that knows that this happened to me is okay with it happening to me. And what I'm not okay with is what this assistant principal at my school kept saying was, I have to make sure that the parents know that this little girl is comfortable in her class. So to me, that's letting me think and letting me believe and almost confirming, letting me know that you're going to push the envelope and make them believe that I did what this little girl said that I did to her, when you already heard it from the horse's mouth. You already heard it from the horse's mouth. Be careful out here in these school streets. Because like I told my son, and I remember him saying, everybody, Mom, everybody. It's all political. All have to do with the government. All fakes, all phony, all fake news, all of it. And it's going down. Just a few days ago, Tick and a Tie has been depleted. Y'all, you might still see it up, but we done did our thing to it. Y'all, you might still see it up, but we done did our thing to it. Shout out to the White Hats and President Trump. Y'all, he's still the president, still our president, still my president. Hence, my channel, 45 Trump News 1945. The moral of my story is, you will not get away with lying on me. You can't exempt me from anything. You can't expel me from anything. You can't even fire me from anything, because I walk my talk, my talk, my talk. And I say goodbye when I'm leaving. Okay, God has blessed me with the wisdom and the gift to be able to call. I call the shots. Expose every teacher, everybody that has to do with the school system. God is taking them out one by one. And guess what, Jesus? I wait. I don't have no problem with that. So I got to go in here tomorrow knowing that this assistant principal don't care nothing about, because I said, well, what about my name, my good name? And there's so much more that I can go in detail, but read in between the lines. It's all political. They do something strange for some change. You think you're not sitting around demons at your job? You better think again. That's why HSBC Bank, let me back up, because I used to work for them for 21 years. Let me back on up. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, they will use children. They will use anybody. They might not like your shoes. They probably don't like mine. Okay? To get you out of there, because you're a problem. Because you talk. You say no. A narcissist don't like you to say no. And that's part of the agenda too. I know it seemed like I just got off a track from narcissist to principal, but what you think they made of if they like flesh? And they. So you remember when
I was, I guess, venting because I had to go back in there the next day. But what brings me to do this video is shout out to my son, my second prince, Rayla. So when I went in the next day, let me just share this with you. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. The school system all over the world is corrupt. How do I know? So I just wanted to follow up. So when I went back into the job the next day, I was met with this same assistant principal, and the principal herself had not been there. Which, by the way, wears her and the administrative secretary, which, by the way, wears a red string cabal on their wrists. Masonry, Eastern Star, etc. You know the kind. But anyway, the kids were due to take pictures that day, and it was picture day. And so they called me in to assist another class because the teachers are leaving. And so I went in, and the kids, they already know me. They, Miss M, oh yay, Miss M, you're gonna be in our class. Because I give love, admiration, and all of that, right? So I'm taking my kids, get their pictures, and it's 25 kids. So imagine how long that takes. And then, so now they're done getting their pictures, and then we're off to head back up to the classroom. So here comes this assistant principal, and she says, she doesn't like my free thinking when I say, oh, well, I have an idea for Anthony, the one that gets up and, wets himself if he doesn't get what he wants, and then he just storms out of the classroom, and nobody knows where he is. But she did. Oh no, we don't need that. No. But anyway, so fast forward. I'm in a classroom. I take my class back to the room. The teacher never even called out. Never even called and said, "Hey, I'm gonna be late." They just didn't show up. You want to know why? I don't think you need to know, because you already know. But anyway, so they thought I wasn't aware that this teacher wasn't coming in. They kept saying, Miss, they didn't come in yet. Come on. Come on now. You don't know your worker? Teacher of the building. So anyway, so I'm taking my kids, back to their classroom. We just took pictures, things of that nature. And so this assistant principal comes in the hallway and says, would you like to stay in this room, or we can put you somewhere else, because we don't have teachers to cover all of the rooms. And I just looked at her. I never answered. And then she said, because you won't be back into the special room that they had me in for the children that was a problem. I go in and I assist these kids, and I talk to them, I delegate situations, things of that nature. Problem kids, that is. She said, so you won't be in that room today. And I said, yeah, about that. I no longer feel comfortable being in the same setting with the young lady that lied on me. That's like someone raping me, and then you don't care. You just put me back in there to get raped again and again and again and again. And she said, oh no, you're going to go where we need you at. And Monday when you come back, we're going to put you where we need you to be at. We're going to allow you to stay in room XYZ today. And she was real loud, extremely loud. It was pictures day, so all the teachers got the students, because we got the whole building, all the kids taking pictures. the whole hallway was filled up with classes, and the teachers looking like, oh, what? Even my students, while she was talking, she's real tall, I'm short. Even my students, they was looking at me like, and looking at her, waiting for me to say something. So I look. She got real loud and nasty. I look, and she knows choose her battle. So I said, come on, class. Come on, keep moving, keep moving. Pay attention. Took my kids back to the classroom, and I called my next door neighbor. Told him, can you send your assistant over here to cover my class just for a few minutes? I went into the copy room. I made a packet of work for them to do. They can color by numbers, things of that nature. And I passed them out. I said, listen, Miss M getting ready to leave. She's not feeling well. I need you to do this work so you can show your teacher that you did it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I passed them out. I got on the phone. I dialed 225, which is the office. I said, hi, Miss So-and-so, which is the administrator. I ain't going to say her name. I need assistant principal so-and-so to come to room 107 immediately. She said, oh, okay, right away. I heard her coming down the steps. I had already had my coat on. My backpack was right there on the floor at the door. When she came and she was with an attitude, what's the problem? I simply said, I'm not feeling well and I'm leaving. She said, huh? Because all of the teachers were calling out. Teachers were leaving left and right. It was so bad in the school till they had the lunchroom cafeteria workers filling in the classrooms. Yep. So I have that on video in case they say, oh, she just walked out. No, I told you I wasn't feeling good and I could leave. Because I'm set up for myself. I work for myself. I don't work for them. I don't work for the district. I work with the district, but not for the district. So I can come, go when if I pick up an assignment and roll over and don't feel well, all I got to do is email. Please remove me from that assignment. I won't be making it today. I don't got to talk to nobody, any of that. That's what's called when you're in your second half of your life. You call the shots. Pay me what you owe me. That's how that goes. But anyway, shout out to my second prince. My first prince too. Shout out to my second prince for sending me this information, which will help me with this video. Will assist me. It'll be some meat towards the video. But anyway, that's what happened. And then the next day, that same night I went home after I said I'm not feeling good and I'm leaving. She was like, huh? And the class was going, the kids was going off. They was losing it. Miss M, where you going on there? Calm down. She kept saying, calm down. I'm trying to get y'all to calm. Yup. Now you're the assistant principal. Now you got to cover all of the rooms. So anyway, moving fast forward, I came home that night, and I'm always on top of my game. I applied for a certain position, and honey, this is the result. The next day, I got an interview. Listen, honey, Jesus will do it.
Hey guys, I just got off an interview via Zoom, and I think I got the job. I'm so excited. Stay praying.
Y'all remember that?
6, honey. These schools in every place that you could possibly work at, all the way down to Taco Bell, is nothing more than a political game, and they're going down. Trust me. Thus saith the Lord. But they can't. And here's a little secret. I've been aware of them and watching them, and it's a secret that I have, but I can't tell you. But just know, I've been watching them, and I've seen some stuff. trust me. Thus saith the Lord. He tired, and so am I. So tomorrow, I'm sure it's going to be some more stuff. And every day they're going to do more and more stuff to get me out of there. But they can't. And here's a little secret. I've been aware of them and watching them. And it's a secret that I have, but I can't tell you. But just know, I've been watching them. And I've seen some stuff. Just because they're a principal, don't think they ain't doing something strange for some change. And they'll use you as a scapegoat and bury you if you allow. Don't allow the school system or no system of the agenda, free world order, Illuminati.
So now that I shared that with you, that I left because I was feeling sick. And I'm no longer at that school anymore. I want you to know this. They put it in our face, but we don't pay attention and we don't listen. And I'm just so over the people that I gotta work, I gotta pay these bills. Let me tell you something. I didn't work for 2 years, and everything in my house was on. Okay? And I did nothing but trust God. But listen to this man tell you in your face 119 years ago and 3 months ago, they made our school system to turn against us. Us being the teachers and the students and all of the workers working in the building, etc. He literally put the real truth in our faces, allowing us to hear it for ourselves from his mouth to our ears. He didn't even want creative, effective thinkers like myself. I would say to the assistant principal, nor did she. They follow the rules, the bad one. I would say, oh, I came up with a plan for Anthony. That's a real kid that was in this school. I came up with a plan for Anthony when he doesn't get his way and he wets himself and he storms out of first grade, storms out of the room and walk down this long prison hall, because that's how long it is. And nobody knows where he is, and the teacher doesn't run after him, or anyone runs after him. No one. I came up with a plan to assist him in how for him to better channel his emotions as opposed to jumping up and storming out of the room and walking the room. First grade. She said, oh, no. We fine. We got it covered. They don't want you to be a free thinker. They don't want you to be creative. They don't want you to be an assistant. They don't want you to be loving. They don't want you to be kind. They don't want you to pray over the children. They don't want you to minister love and patience. They don't want you to. And neither did he. Who is he? Let me tell you. And before I tell you, let me tell you that he lucidly tells you he only wants workers. He don't want a free thinker. Who is he? Let me share to you, with you, for you, who he is. And again, shout out to Rayla. Let's see who he is. You'll be surprised. Shout out to I am Tashell.
People don't know this about the school system. In 1903, John D. Rockefeller founded the General Education Board, and within 5 years, adjusted for inflation, he would go on to donate over $1.27 billion. In Rockefeller's own words, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." The school system was made to turn you into a slave. Thinking critically and seeking truth are acts of rebellion. A lot of people don't know this about the school system. In 1903, John D. Rockefeller founded the General Education Board, and within 5 years, adjusted for inflation, he would go on to donate over $1.27 billion. In Rockefeller's own words, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." The school system was made to turn you into a slave. Thinking critically and seeking truth are acts of rebellion. A lot.
And there you have it. But let's look a little further. I Googled it and did all the other stuff too. And here it is. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Even more compelling are the words of Frederick T. Gates, business advisor to Rockefeller. We shall not try to make these people or any of these children into philosophers or men of learning or of science. So this goes probably further back than 119 years ago, which, by the way, is 1903. He said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. Nation of workers is what I want. Sounds like slavery and CCP to me. What do you think? Oh, by the way, Rockefeller was one of the elite 13 families. Why we in this mess today? So, to end my story, I had an interview. I applied that night, and that following morning, I got a response via email. And I had an interview, which was almost 2 hours long, via FaceTime. And then the following, she told me that I would hear a response from her within the week. And this is the response that I got.
I just got off an interview via Zoom, and I think I got the job. I'm so excited. Stay free.
So, after my interview, I think it was 24 hours later, because she said that I would hear from her within the week. But 24 hours later, I got an email. And so I received on April 10th an email, because I sent them an email directly after the interview, and I was thanking them for interviewing me, and I said I look forward to hearing from them within the time frame that she gave me. And then she responded to my email and said, "Good morning." They sent me an email asking me would I accept the position and the amount, etc. And I looked it over really, really good, and then I sent back my response, which was yes. I accept the offer. Never make anything long and drawn out. I accept the offer. And she said, congratulations. It was lovely being able to interview you. And I think you would make a fantastic such and such. I'm not saying what it is. I'm excited to offer you the position. This is what she said. I had to sign my name via computer, etc., etc. And now I just have to do my drug test, background check, make sure I haven't harmed anyone. And I got the job. So I'll be starting fresh the new year coming for once school is out, and then I'll be starting fresh. But until then, I'll be taking different little odd jobs. But let me leave you with this. Be careful with the school system. Run your own race. Don't let somebody else run it for you. Be your own person. I'm like my own business advisor. I'm my own business person. And when I don't see something right, I feel like, child, I treat it just like as if I invested my money in it. I pull out. I pull out of the situation. I remove myself. The Bible says it. So, listen. The school system has been set up, framed, and corrupt for more than 119 years, since 1903 and further. Don't be a part of the problem. These people that's agreeing, these assistant principals and all of them, they're agreeing to be a part of the problem. I will not. Listen.
It's 12 o'clock.
Do not allow anyone, including the school system, to bury you. That is God's job, and God's job alone. I want you to never forget this.
5 years, adjusted for inflation, he would go on to donate over $1.27 billion. In Rockefeller's own words, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." The school system was made to turn you into a slave. Thinking critically and seeking truth are acts of rebellion.
You hear that? Don't allow them. I want to remind you to stop and to not be a scapegoat for the devil. The only way that the devil can come, rob, steal, kill, and destroy is if you leave a door open for him. Basically, if you let him. Don't do it.
Just because they're a principal, don't think they ain't doing something strange for some change. And they'll use you as a scapegoat and bury you if you allow. Don't allow no system of the agenda, free world order, Illuminati to destroy your goodness.
Let me play that again for the people in the back with the earplugs in. Do not be pulled in. I'm in my second half of my life, and that's happy times. Nothing is going to make me miserable, cry, sad, have hatred, not love myself, be complacent in my mind. None of that. So, these are my last words to you. And be encouraged and stand up. Again, shout out to Ray Lai. My second prince. I love you, son.
And they'll use you as a scapegoat and bury you if you allow. Don't allow the school system or no system of the agenda, free world order, Illuminati to destroy your goodness, your great soul. Don't allow it. Because watch me win. It's all political. The school system, your kids being on drugs, stop signing for that. Stop signing for them to put your children on drugs. Drugs ain't make them like that. Why they not giving no health benefits? So they call it mental health. Why they not giving those benefits? So your child can see a psychologist. And you do. Let me tell you something. All of the stuff they doing, I'm not afraid. Because my God is greater. My God is bigger. My God is better. My God is more equipped than what they think they are. The school system, y'all, is political. It's shams. And most importantly that you need to hear, the school system that you trust in, you should see the stuff they teaching these children. The school system is corrupt. President Trump tried to tell us a long time ago. It's all corrupt. Let's wake up. And don't be a victim. Don't be a victim.